Leadership is jazz. It's not orchestral music.
Yeah.
Right? It's not reading sheet music and then it's like, okay, I saw this done over here, so it's going to work over here.
Yeah.
It's not, it changes. It's so nuanced. It's so gray. And so that's what I feel like I get to learn just by being around the table.
Welcome to Lessons in Legacy, where we explore the stories, strengths, and struggles behind building businesses that last. In today's episode, I'm sitting down with Will Host from Andocia Marketing, a creative agency that specializes in helping small businesses cut through the noise and make lasting impressions. From grassroots beginnings to helping brands grow with purpose, we'll explore how Andocia got started, what challenges they faced along the way, and what it really takes to stand out in the ever-changing world of marketing.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So, Will, one of the things I've always wanted to ask you is, what inspired you to get involved with Andocia Marketing, and how did the business first come to life?
Yeah, that's a really big question because it wasn't necessarily by my design. Maybe we get into this later. So I started off my career in the ministry, more on like the executive pastor, right hand, business of church stuff. So straight out of college, I came in and started doing that, and overseeing staff and capital campaigns and all of that stuff I just loved. And so anyways, after I left the ministry and came to Pittsburgh in 2020, I was running operations for L3 Leadership, our friend Doug Smith, his company, and that's kind of was my first break here in Pittsburgh. As I was doing that job, I had always kind of done creative things on the side because I also learned how to do that in the church context. And so I'd have clients that I'd build brands for or websites for or just offer general marketing consultation. And Doug connected Jerry Scheller and I. And Jerry had a company called Andocia, but Andocia didn't ever really go anywhere huge, right? It was only just Jerry and Nick. They co-founded the company, I think, in 2015. It was always a creative boutique. Right? Yeah, exactly. Do you know him too?
Yeah, I do know Nick.
All right, yeah. So I never met him actually because he was out of the picture by the time me and Jerry met. Andocia was always a creative boutique, right? So they would build sort of mid-level brands and mid-level websites for people, and they'd probably build a handful of those a year and do okay. So Jerry, because they could never really get it to the place where it needed to be financially, ended up taking a really good job. I think it was with PNC as being one of their like senior designers, and just made more doing that than he ever could get the agency to make for him. And so I love Jerry. If Jerry ends up listening to this somehow, which I doubt he ever will, he won't take this as a slight. Jerry is one of the most creative people I know. Like his work with Andocia before we got involved was awesome. He built some pretty incredible brands here in Pittsburgh. But he was not a great business person. And I think he would tell you that. And so very creative, not good on the business end, couldn't get it off the ground. They did and didn't. Anyways, he took a creative job. And so Andocia's kind of just like sitting over here with this book of business not really being worked. And when we got connected, he started feeding me some clients just as a freelancer. Like, hey, I've got a couple of these that, they're not dead clients, that these are still very much alive and active. I need some help with these. And so I started taking those over, and then I just, this is how I think. Like I just started asking Jerry what it would take for me to just buy the brand off of him and the book of business. And that's kind of how it started. We started with a few clients, and then I think within 6 months I bought the business from him. Wow.
So was there like a particular moment or client that really validated your decision to want to buy the business from Jerry and to take it out and go out on your own?
Yes. Greg Fuhrer. So my company's name, which, all my freelance stuff, I was maybe doing $30,000 or $40,000 a year, like nothing much. And, that name was Create Change. It had a whole different brand look and a whole different reason for being. And, one day he sent me a Vox, like, he does. He sent me like one of those 5-minute long Vox, and he was just like, dude, I just got to be honest with you. Your company name sucks. I can't find it. I don't know what you're doing. You're not focused. You need to go find a way to buy Andocia and just do this. And so I did that next week. I made Jerry an offer, and we ended up getting the business.
So how many years have you been in business now at this point?
So,
5?
Yeah, and my timelines are a little bit off. So I ended up, it worked out perfectly with the year. So January of 2022, the business was ours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your focus for the business really is helping small businesses, to face the unique marketing challenges that they have. And how does doing that for small businesses differ from larger companies?
That's a really, really good question. I feel like we're still trying to figure that part out too. There's a couple of things that we've really got dialed in. So our model is unique in the space of agencies where when we partner with a company, they get fractional marketing leadership in the form of typically a fractional CMO or a fractional marketing director.
Okay.
And we build a cross-functional marketing team around that person for one monthly cost. So you know this as a customer, when we scope out the project, you can ask us for anything, and there's never going to be an additional bill. And the onus is on us to really know the customer as well as we can and provide them the strategic marketing leadership through our weekly meetings. And, for a lot of our customers, we sit on the board. For a lot of our customers, we're actually in the leadership team meetings and the EOS quarterlies or whatever. We build all that in, and then we build around them videographers and social media manager, website developer, SEO specialist, if they're running advertising, media buyers, all the stuff to essentially be their complete marketing department. And so it looks different from small to mid-sized business.
So for a small business, they would come to a company such as Andocia to essentially create that marketing department, in a fractional form.
Exactly. And what we do a little differently that I think other agencies will start to do more of, that we're just hopefully a little bit more on the cutting edge of, is understanding the leadership piece is really what sells. And I'm constantly auditing our clients, like, where do we really provide the most value? I think we're really creative and we do a good job there. It is in that being able to provide them with a fractional CMO at the same time, regardless of how big or small they are. Like, that part works because a lot of companies feel the pain in marketing where they know they need to be doing all the stuff. It's hard to find a one-stop shop that's like, not only can we do all the stuff, but we're going to tell you how we should do all the stuff and get your vision, understand where you want to go, and try to come up with some unique ways to grow your audience and grow your business.
Yeah, really redefining that, like, core values, what the business really wants to do, mission, vision, all things like that. So, what does the name Andocia mean or represent for you?
Yeah, I think there's a statement on our website that explains what it means. It's ChatGPT. And it doesn't mean anything. So, I mean, I liked the word Andocia when I got the company, which, I mean, Jerry, and I'll give him outright credit on this. I mean, he ended up just giving us the company. Like when we came with the lawyers and I was going to come with a check or whatever, it just ended up being like he just gave it to us, which is awesome. I didn't want to change the name because I liked it. Andocia sounds cool to me. It's great SEO because there's literally not a word close to it. So as long as people spell it correctly, we're always going to show up with SEO, right? As opposed to, some other more generic name where you're competing against other things. It's completely unique and a little bit more memorable. And so I like it. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Okay. So as you're working with small businesses, is there like a success story of a client that made a big leap or a big jump forward thanks to the work that you guys are doing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Two come to mind, and again, I'll refer back to Greg, is who really gave me the validation and confirmation that this model could work. That there are companies that they need somebody at their leadership table to kind of help provide overall leadership and strategy, and that also this brand building thing works to really push socials well and create a ton of content that just drives more business and leads through YouTube and LinkedIn and email or whatever it might be, the website with tons of blogs. That works. So that's more on the organic side, and I would use Baritone as an example for that, and still sort of some giant work in progress, but I think where we've moved the needle a lot is with a company called MediConnect. And we've really helped them on more of the advertising side. So they've got a rather large ad spend that we manage, and helping them dial in their target markets and how they drive business through webinars and more group sales and group education and, standing up pipelines and automations for them through funnels and a little bit more sophisticated advertising. We've helped them to be able to go into, I think it's like 6 or 7 more states now. And really expand.
And MediConnect provides services for those who are trying to find Medicare.
Yeah.
Medicare enrollment questions they have, which can be landmines for people if they make the wrong decision.
100%.
At one point in time.
And they're actually the largest independent Medicare advisory firm in the state, so that they crush it. And yeah, it's an honor to come alongside them. We're hand in glove with them, helping them to grow that business and bring in more and more leads.
What would you say are some of the biggest challenges that you face in growing Andocia, or even with the clients that you work with? I guess, what are the challenges that you face, and then are there some of those challenges that you see time and time again with the clients you work with?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Growth is a challenge in and of itself, because keep in mind, Andocia wasn't worth anything when I bought it. It was worth a few customers that were in the book, but it was literally like 2 customers, I think, ended up being viable. I just saw 2 is better than nothing. And there's at least this brand that I can stand on and kind of refresh and try to build up. So I think when I got Andocia, it was like 40 or 50,000 in revenue. Year 1, 130,000. Year 2, 470,000. Year 3 was 900,000, and this year is 1.3 million. So that's like a lot of growth, customer by customer. Yeah. It's not like the way our business works. We don't necessarily have like one giant source where all the business comes from, or we win one giant customer and it affects, like, that's just customer by customer, one at a time, growing from 2 to, I think we have like 25 customers now. Okay. That's a challenge. Yeah. Because we're a different company every single year. Right. And so I don't want to get too far off here or talk too much, but there's multiple challenges that arise from that. We're a different agency every year. So we have to be a different agency, a different SOPs. We're at a different scale. We went from just me to, in 2020, at the end of 2022, I hired my first W-2 employee and couldn't sleep that night because I'm like, now I have a person that I've got to pay a salary, and I've never done that, to like, okay, the next year I think we hired 4 more, and now we have like 15 with I think we have like 9 full-timers and 9 or 10 full-timers and 4 or 5 part-timers, W-2, and then a handful of freelancers. And not just here in Pittsburgh, but spread throughout the country, right? They are now mostly here in Pittsburgh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They are now mostly here in Pittsburgh. We do have specialized freelancers that I wouldn't include in that number that are around the world. Okay. Doing various things. Now, how has your approach to client service or campaign development evolved over the last few years? I mean, you said you constantly have to like reinvent what you're doing or what you're bringing to the table. Walk us through that. Yeah. Okay. And some of this is fresh, man. It's so, this is a perfect time to be having this conversation because we're at another one of those inflection points. It feels like we're seeing some pretty big changes and having to shift some stuff up. Like when you get to the point where you've got, 10 to 15 people and these many accounts, like the company has to become less flat. Right. And so now we've got structure and leadership and people that are overseeing people that aren't me. And we're running EOS like you are. And so also, Tori's our integrator now. And so she's essentially running a lot of the business. And I say all that to say it's a really interesting challenge for me as a CEO to lead at that level because I don't necessarily have as clear of a view on things. I have to now lead through people. And so when issues arise, it's a little bit more complicated to figure out what they are because it's easy when you're in it. Right. And you're across from the customer and you can understand the nuances of like, hey, this customer's not happy. Yeah. We need to, and I think I know why because I was in the room. Yeah. I'm not in the room anymore. Yeah. And so when a customer's not happy or a process isn't smooth, it's really a little bit more difficult to understand why. What's wrong with our process, or what's wrong with the way we sell, or what wires are crossed here? Yeah. Is it a process thing? Is it a people thing? Is it a client issue? those are the big complex issues that I feel like I'm wrestling through that I can't imagine. We'll be there one day, but
Yeah.
we're still super small, man.
Yeah.
Like there's big companies that have to do this on, 10x scale than what we're
Right.
doing. And so does that make sense what I'm saying?
No, it does. I mean, I think it's the growing pain, and like the more you grow as a business owner, it's filling the right people in the right seats, right?
Yes.
Do they get it? Do they want it? Do they have the capacity to do it? Those EOS tools that we talk about and we think about, it's making sure that you've got the right people to make the business run efficiently over time, but then still provide you with that scale so that you can grow.
Yes, exactly. And so bringing it back to your question to make sure that it was answered around customer service, we know we're a service-based business.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to our marketing toolbox and the products and services that we offer that are like strictly to do with marketing are good, and they're going to continue to get better and better. But everything goes back to good customer service, right? We want to always make sure that's dialed in and have a really boutique approach to how we treat our customers. Mm-hmm. Great relationship management, great project management, and those are growing pains for us because it changes literally every 6 months because we're on a different scale.
Yeah. Is there if you think about where you started, right, and where you are now, what did you wish that you knew then as you sit here today?
Yeah, it's what I wish I could still learn now about what I know is going to be true in the future. And that is that everything is going to work out, mm-hmm. and that I've got this, you know what I mean? I, not to bring faith in, but I mean, I do know that God's hand's on me, that, I'm going to be able to figure stuff out because that's what I'm here to do. Right. And not to sound arrogant, but like becoming more sure in my leadership, I'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. And we're going to build a good team and good processes and figure things out as we go. You don't always really know that. Right. And so at every step in the process, you're like, crap, I hope this works out. Yeah. And the countless nights that I've lost sleep, and the countless days that my whoop has been just like you're peaking in level 3 stress. If I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have lost sleep. I would have known like, okay, this is going to work out. And if it doesn't, we're going to figure it out and fix our mistakes and increase that batting average. Yeah. I still haven't figured that out because now I'm worried about the next step, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. I think as things change and how fast things have changed, like with marketing and even, how do you go to market? Like even since you launched the firm, like how are the tools that you use? Or you mentioned like YouTube, whether it's SEO, whether it's email campaign, like how has that changed in just such a short amount of time?
Yes. That is the other giant layer of complication. So there's not just the navigating business growth and more people and trying to lead through people who are leading through people who are actually doing the work, right? That part's complex. You add on to it that we just happen to be in a day and age where AI is coming in and blowing everybody's jobs up. Like it is huge, everything that's coming and the softwares that are being released. That's probably what I spend at least half my time worrying about and researching now. We do so much R&D. We spend thousands of dollars a month in R&D now, developing our own AI software, constantly sandboxing and testing new softwares around SEO and copywriting and content generation. And, we were joking before about your show notes with that ChatGPT. That's just like the tip of the iceberg, right? Like AI's here. Yeah. And it's going to be here to stay. And so that's the other level of complication. It's changing the entire marketing game.
So how do you cut through that crowded space or the noise within like the digital marketing space that we're dealing with now? Like how do you navigate that? You mentioned spending money on R&D, and like as a small business owner, where should they be focusing their time and their energy?
Any small business owner?
Well, I mean, I think those who are on that growth path.
Yeah. How should they be spending their time in light of what's changing with this AI stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think you just got to keep your eyes open to it, and you've got to be aware that this is no small thing. It's going to affect everybody. And if you're not on the train, you're probably going to get ran over by it eventually. I know that sounds pretty harsh, but I think it is true. So regardless of what industry you're in, AI is so much more than just ChatGPT and its capabilities. The level of automation, the level of execution that it can do and do better and better and better is remarkable. And so we've got to make sure that regardless of what business we're leading, if we're entrepreneurs or if you're a practitioner within the business and working, that you are using it, learning how to use it better and better and better to keep yourself efficient, to keep yourself effective, use it wherever you can and work with it. I think that's probably would be my advice.
Are there any platforms or tools that you see are underrated when it comes to helping a small business build their brand or build their visibility?
That's a really great question. Yes, I do have answers to that question. I'm typically not close to the vest with like anything. I tell you numbers, I'll tell you failures. To be extremely self-deprecating because I make mistakes all the time. The AI stuff, I've been a little bit more close to the vest because we are spending so much money and are developing out some pretty cool things, some products that we're hoping to launch this year. And so I'm a little bit more hesitant to like spill on some of those things. But yes, that there are some things that people need to be doing. People need to be making sure they understand what ChatGPT's like upgraded programs, upgraded accounts can do around building your own custom folders and custom GPTs and allowing it to learn your voice. There's things like make.ai that are going to be huge, that are going to allow you to build AI agents and strain them along automations. And this helps in the marketing world a ton because now we can generate a ton of content that's in Ryan Neupaver's voice really well and help drive down costs for you. But it's not just in the marketing world. It's going to be in the customer service world with chatbots and autoresponders and help you with your customer service. And, you know,
are there things outside of maybe the AI that you're seeing, whether it's, you know, I mean, like we've talked about, you got to be in multiple mediums, whether it's, you know, like, are you on LinkedIn? Are you posting content to YouTube? Like things like that. Are there other areas that you see that people are not utilizing? And if they're thinking about going out and creating their brand, where should they start? Where should they go?
That's also a really good question. So, I mean, I pull it back to sort of the model that we have that we really do believe in is sometimes tested and pressure tested, but it comes back to we believe there are the 6 elements that are necessary to build a brand, right? There's the marketing leadership, number one, somebody whose hands are on the steering wheel, pointing the way as to where we should go, pacing the budget, being strategic, proactive, and sort of holding everything together. That's like your CMO, right? There's the brand messaging, which is understanding who your ideal customer profiles are, your avatars, having a really great story brand script and make sure that you're telling a great story with your messaging and that it's dialed in and segmented. There's the brand identity, making sure that you look sharp across all the mediums and channels and consistent and, you know, branded materials, all that. There's the website presence, making sure that SEO is where it needs to be. You've got a great website that's got good content that's constantly being published on it to feed chat and to feed Google with what it needs and is really helpful to your customers and is clear about what your services are. There's the social influence element where you're doing what you need to do on socials across all channels, PR, all that kind of stuff. And then finally is advertising and sales. And that is making sure that you are spending some money on advertising to get in front of new eyeballs. And that's being done strategically and that you're choosing the right media to buy and not just choosing the right media to buy on the top of the funnel, but that you actually have a really good solution for how you're bringing leads in and nurturing leads, and whether that's softwares that you need to stand up or pre-sale CRMs and stuff like that. There's entire worlds of marketing that live in each one of those 6, but we do believe those 6 should be present in every company to some extent. So to answer your question, long story long, it's different from customer to customer. For the customer that is all in on socials, I would encourage them. What are you doing with advertising and sales though? How are we tracking leads? How are we spending money to get in front of new eyeballs on Facebook or LinkedIn or
how do you know it's effective?
How do you know it's effective? And are we nurturing these leads? Do we even have the software to do that well? Where we can run drip campaigns? And do you have a sales pipeline? where it's like, this is a lead. This is a marketing qualified lead. This is a sales qualified lead.
Right.
This is somebody who no-showed us. And then each one of those steps along the process, what's happening from a marketing plan with each one of those. So if somebody no-shows you, what marketing collateral do they get? Is it a 3-part email with a thank you letter or something to try to get them back to the door?
Yeah.
If you don't have somebody set all those things up for you, then you can't really take deeper steps into marketing to try to grow the business more, right? Or if somebody's all in on advertising, I would encourage them to do more with organic, right? Like you still need to be posting on socials, and are you on LinkedIn? So does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, I think every business is different, right? And where they want to spend their time and spend their effort is different. But without being able to track it or monitor what they're doing and how are those dollars being spent, is it truly effective?
Yeah. And I'll say this just to be extremely transparent about where we are. It's interesting. Socials are extremely important, and we need to be focusing more on generating great content. Organic socials are an interesting thing to track because they're not like advertising.
What do you mean by organic socials? Like
so like okay, we'll use you as an example. We post for you on LinkedIn. What business has that brought? 1-to-1.
Yeah,
it's hard to say.
Right.
It's nearly impossible to say.
Right.
Like you could put unique links and use UTMs, and there are ways to do it, but it is harder.
Yeah.
So you more have to judge it based off of leading indicators of impressions and clicks and likes and increased engagement rates and all that kind of stuff. And yes, we can draw it back to landing pages and offers and all that kind of stuff. It's a little bit more tricky with organic versus advertising is super easy, right? You put $1,000 into Google, and you can see exactly who those leads are, and exactly where they are in the pipeline, so that you can see what your cost per lead was, and then all the way through to sales, what your cost per acquisition was, and whether or not you're receiving a return on ad spend, ROAS.
Yeah.
That's more difficult to do with organic, which is why, the last year to year and a half, we've really focused a lot on advertising and strengthening, and we've acquired some incredible talent on the media buying side to help us with those things, and focus on showing companies a return because that's huge.
Right. They got to be able to see like, how are these dollars being spent, and is there some kind of return coming in? What's the ROI? You mentioned bringing in a good team. And how do you maintain a creative and collaborative environment, especially during busy campaign seasons, and the growth of your company? Like how do you do that?
I don't know if we do that well.
Does anyone?
I don't know. That's a great question. That would be encouraging to know what the answer is to that question. I mean, I was really transparent with my Vistage group about this actually yesterday. And the overall comment from all these CEOs around the table were join the club. Yeah. When none of us feel like we know what we're doing. Yeah. And that's so helpful.
Yeah. It's like that imposter syndrome. It's like, have you really made it, or do we deserve a seat at the table?
Yeah. I mean, my team works so freaking hard. Yeah. I told them today in team meeting that, and I don't know if they believe me when I say that, but I do. I see our team works their freaking rear ends off, and people are stressed a lot of the time because agency is tough. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done, and I don't know if we do that well. I mean, I think we've got a good culture, but I always feel like it could be better, and yeah.
So how do you find? You mentioned, your team working really hard. I mean, how do you find and develop the talent that comes in and fits to your culture?
Yeah. I don't even know if I could say I do that well. Okay. I don't know. We've got a great team. Okay. We've got really good people. Yeah. One of the things that sets me up for success in being a leader is our model in and of itself, because I get to be the CMO of like 6 or 7 companies. And what that allows me to, and we have more than that, but there's other people that sit in that seat for other customers. For our largest ones, I get to sit at leadership tables and get to experience 6 or 7 different CEOs and their leadership styles. I get to see how they process issues because I'm at the table. Yeah. And so that gives me like a really unique inside view that I'm in a different company's office like every single day, experiencing culture, and I'm kind of a sponge around that. Like, I wonder how Lance is going to handle this situation. Yeah. And then watching him handle it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
That taught me something. Or I wonder how so-and-so is going to answer this question. Okay, interesting. And then I kind of put that in my leadership toolbox. Yeah, I think if anything helps me, it's that. Does that
Having
make
the
sense?
resources and other people to talk to and kind of figure out like, what are they doing? How can we apply that to our business?
Yeah,
Is that what you mean?
it's something you can't get from a book.
Yeah.
Because I read leadership books.
Yeah.
I love books. It's not, leadership isn't a one-to-one. It's not like, I talked about this at Baritone University during a talk. Leadership is jazz. It's not orchestral music.
Yeah.
Right? It's not reading sheet music and then it's like, okay, I saw this done over here, so it's going to work over here.
Yeah.
It's not, it changes. It's so nuanced. It's so gray. And so that's what I feel like I get to learn just by being around the table is like, that was an appropriate response for this particular situation, and here's why.
Right.
That was a strategic move by that leader in that particular situation, and here's why.
So you mentioned something, earlier about like you've got the resource of a group such as Vistage. Like as a small business owner who's looking to grow their firm and their practice, like what are some good resources that they should look at? I mean, you mentioned like leadership books, but the Vistage thing keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Or if it's EOS, like what are some things that you recommend that business owners should look at as they want to grow and want to scale?
Yeah. Well, if you want to grow and want to scale, you should get a marketing company that works for you, gets your vision, and can help you do that and have a seat at that leadership table to help you make better, more informed decisions. So on the marketing end. On the operations end, yeah, we both run on EOS. Mm-hmm. EOS is incredible. Mm-hmm. We should probably run it better, but I mean, we try our best to be pretty EOS pure, and it's helped our business a ton. Okay. I don't think we would have been able to scale the way that we did without it. So I recommend that to any business leader. Mm-hmm. It helps you with your people issues. It helps you with your process issues. It helps you see the future before it comes, right? And just be a little bit more proactive about how you structure the company.
Right.
And then, yeah, I've always been really big into CEO forums, mm-hmm. whatever mastermind, that is. So Vistage has been great for me. Before that, it was L3 Leadership. I was involved with another one as well. We're also looking at C12, which is more of like a Christian network. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Vistage is great. And I would recommend that for any company. It's relatively affordable for the CEO to be a part of. Mm-hmm. And it gives you, you're in one as well.
Yeah.
It gives you that one time a month where you get to work on your business, not in your business, and open up your books entirely.
Yeah.
Right. It's the Las Vegas rule.
Right.
Everything that happens in Vistage stays in Vistage.
Right.
So I'm able to process issues with those guys.
So having that support group or that group that you can talk to and share ideas with and face those challenges or get different viewpoints and maybe some issues that you might be struggling with.
Yeah. Because I assume most leaders are like this. We've got thick skin, and I love to be told that I'm being an idiot and that I'm not seeing things clearly and that I just need to go do this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have that necessarily without something like Vistage.
Yeah. So what's next for Andocia? Like, are there any new offerings, industries, platforms, things that you're excited about, that you're looking forward to getting involved in?
Absolutely. We've got big things in the works. One already launched. So we became a StoryBrand certified agency at the end of last year. Okay. And we're now the only one in Western PA. So we actually set up a new brand around that. It's called Not the Hero.
Okay.
And that is going to have its own offerings and services. So we're going to sell those private workshops to companies and really help them solely focus on their messaging. Mm-hmm. So it won't necessarily be as much in creative execution or long-term marketing strategy like Andocia does. Mm-hmm. It is very focused and niche. Mm-hmm. We come into companies with a one-time offering. We run them through some workshops, help them stand up their story. You went through Campfire Effect, right? Very similar. Okay. But with the StoryBrand certification. Yeah. And so that'll be a business in and of itself that sits under Andocia and grows revenue. We've got really big plans for that and this different offerings and different ways that we can grow our business using that. And then the second one that I hope to launch this year, this is where we're spending most of our money in R&D, is Andocia AI. Okay. So I'm very optimistic. I mean, we've got a big deadline for a milestone next week where we're going to make a lot of progress on this. At the very latest, by the end of this year, we're going to launch another company and product or service. Andocia AI is going to give real small businesses that can't afford Andocia services the ability to automate their marketing. And so we're developing our own custom databases, private databases and servers and user interfaces where a customer can go in and tell us a lot about themselves and share their mission, their vision, their values, their product offerings, their value propositions, kind of give them step-by-steps to do that, a little bit more automated. And it is going to be able to write social media posts, write blog posts, stand-up websites.
So be the virtual CMO for that group that maybe can't, or is not willing to do the marketing spend each year.
And the product offering cost is arbitrary. It might change, but I would love to be able to go to real small businesses that are maybe $1 million and under, and say for $500 a month you can have this. Is it Andocia? No.
Yeah.
But it's good for you.
Yeah.
We're going to be able to give you something really good where your website can stay updated, where you can at least get some basic posts out there. Is it going to be as dialed in and good where we're coming out to your office and we're shooting and it feels boutique and high end?
Yeah.
No, but it'll give the mom and pop shop something, and that will scale like crazy.
Yeah. So you've got the maybe the new business that's just starting out wants to create that presence. They could do that.
Yep.
Then you got the, Andocia Marketing, coming in and then working all your way up to large business enterprise level.
Which is what Not the Hero gets us into.
Yeah.
So the story brand offering is the bigger businesses. We go after bigger businesses. Those are a little bit more expensive workshops, very boutique on just messaging. Andocia is going to serve the middle tier. Our retainers are anywhere between $6,000 and $15,000 a month, depending on the complications and complexity of our agreements. That's for businesses typically between 2 and 150 million, which I know is a big span.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Andocia AI, which is going to come into those, probably 500 grand and under businesses.
Yeah.
And give them a really good product and service.
So is there any advice you would give to entrepreneurs thinking about starting a service-based business?
Oh man, that's a really good, I feel like I say questions. On good days, I would say do it. Like, just take the step, right? And there's altitude sickness at every level. So you take your first big step up when you decide to do it, and you're going to be sick to your stomach and feel that altitude sickness and nausea, which you'll get used to that climate. And then it's going to be the time to take another step and hire your first person, and you're going to get sick and nauseous at that level, and then that's fine. You'll get used to it, and you'll think in terms of dollars, and then $100 and thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions. You just take each step. Do it. On my bad days, to get specific with what you're asking about service businesses are tough, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's some days where, like, when it's really tough, that I'm like, I'd just like to go sell a widget.
Yeah.
I wish I could have a business that had sponges that it's selling.
Yeah.
That feels like it'd be so easy just to sell a widget and grow a business that invents and sell, and we don't have to be so much a professional services firm.
Right.
Because, like, what is professional services? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not as clear, but that's head trash and all that kind of stuff. I'm just being transparent.
Well, I thank you for your time today. This has been enlightening, and I really appreciate the conversation. If people want to find out more about Andocia, what they do, where do they find you?
Yeah, they can go to andocia.com, and our website could take it from there, or they can feel free to reach out directly to me, will@andocia.com. I'll answer my emails pretty promptly, and I'd love to help.
All right. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. You're awesome.